Keep it high, keep it tight. I'm Jay Morris, the review guy, back to bring you another video. So when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I did a little bit of a competition in which you guys voted for the videos that you wanted to see made. I gave you the option of 5 different types of videos to make, and this is your first choice. The second choice will be out tomorrow. It is going to be a Q&A. You guys are going to be able to ask me your questions, and I will answer them. But today we are doing the World of Warcraft Ironman leveling challenge. So this was your first pick. I was genuinely shell-shocked that this was one of the ones that were chosen, but this is in no way a bad choice. I really am happy to do this, and the reason why is because this was my first series I ever did on this channel. This series is what started Jay Morris, the review guy. If you don't know what World of Warcraft is, or if you don't know what the World of Warcraft Ironman Leveling Challenge is, basically what it is on World of Warcraft, you make a fresh character. You cannot get help. You have to level to max level, or at least get as far as you can, without dying. You can't die once. You can only wear gray and white armor. You cannot choose any talents. You cannot do dungeons, battlegrounds, raids. You cannot be in a guild. Basically, you are a lone wolf to as far as you can get, wearing only gray and white armor, and if you die, the challenge is over. So obviously, this channel is devoted and dedicated to reviewing music, reviewing shows, reviewing movies, reviewing games. Basically, it's a review channel. It's in the name of my channel, and I think anyone can obviously know that. Well, this is going to be a weekly series. Every Saturday, expect a World of Warcraft Ironman Leveling Challenge video until the series is over. Whether I die at level 2, whether I die at level 109, whether I make it all the way, no matter what, this series is going to be up every Saturday. So I have a special guest that is going to be joining me. I can't promise that he's necessarily going to be in every video, but you will definitely recognize him from some of my other videos. This is my friend Matthias and/or Verona. Would you like to say something?
Hey, guys. Yeah.
Hey. All right, so what class are we going to choose? So I'm actually going to be making a race and a class that I've wanted a while. I'm going to be making a rogue. I think it's the only class that I don't have above like level 90. And I'm going to be making, drumroll please, we are making a Worgen rogue. So we are going to be going into the World of Warcraft as a Worgen rogue. So let's customize them real quick. There's this very specific type of Worgen-like customization that I really like that I can do really quick, because I used to level Worgens a lot because I just really like the starting zone, and it's been so long since I've done it. I already got my name.
Are you a furry?
No, I am not, in fact. So we are going to name myself Worgen. So if you don't know what that is a character from one of my books. I'm a writer, and I have a character in one of my stories called Korgan Mistrog, and I didn't know what to name him, so I'm just like, hey, let's go with Korgan. Why not? So the first thing that I wanted to address, and this was, I'm not necessarily going to set up topics every video. It's mostly going to be just a stream of consciousness type of discussion type of thing, conversation, me leveling, and just talking with you guys about personal stuff. This is going to be a lot more of a personal series. And the one thing that I really wanted to address first, and this is something that hit me hard, and it's kind of sad, and I'm almost doing this Worgen in honor of him. I don't know if I'm sure you will know who this is. TurtleBiscuit died. He had been battling cancer.
Who died?
TurtleBiscuit died. And have you ever heard of him? He's the game reviewer. He's done WoW in the past. Basically, he was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and if I remember right, I'm wanting to say it's bowel cancer, colon cancer, I'm thinking, and he unfortunately passed away. And he lived a really great life, and I remember when I was younger, back before Cataclysm came out, watching TurtleBiscuit play the World of Warcraft Cataclysm beta, and he played a Worgen. And so you can kind of consider this a bit of me honoring him, because he was such an awesome YouTuber, and he was such an awesome person. He didn't let cancer beat him. He beat cancer because he never let it break his soul. He never let it break his spirit, and his want to entertain people and who he was as a person. So if you're out there, if you're hearing this, man, you are a good person. And it's really a shame that cancer in this day and age can still kill so many people, but it's just how the world is, I guess. So we are starting this Worgen Rogue. We are starting in, of course, the ruins of Gilneas, which is an abandoned zone that the Worgens start at. Now, this is kind of... Actually, this is a perfect segue. I want to hear your thoughts on something. I was talking to some friends the other day about the Druids. Now, this is kind of a spoiler, but I'm sure you know this. You know what happens to Darnassus, correct? Because it's right in
Me?
Yeah, it's right in the trailer.
You mean Teldrassil?
Yeah, Teldrassil, yeah. And just the Night Elves in general in Battle for Azeroth don't have it very nice. Well, a lot of people are wondering if the Night Elves are going to move. I wouldn't mind seeing them move to Gilneas. That would be kind of cool. Because if you think, I mean,
that's a long trip though.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah, that's true. I mean, I'd kind of like them to stay in Kalimdor for nothing else, but for the fact that they don't. There's not many Alliance capital cities there, like besides Exodar and Darnassus. You know, like it's not like Eastern Kingdoms where there's like a ton of Alliance places and cities, and it'd kind of be weird if they moved. So who knows? I mean, but yeah. So I am actually really surprised that this got chosen. But thank you guys for your votes. The turnout for the votes was really good. Hopefully, I will get further along than the other one, because if I don't remember the exact level that I died in the first series that I ever did, I think I got like in the 30s. I know I was in Stone Talon Mountains, and it was before the level scale, so it had to have been between the levels of 25 and 30-ish. That's what Stone Talon Mountains is, right? Let me look. Or what it scales now, so I wouldn't be able to see. I'm pretty sure it's 25 to 30, so... This isn't the right time. This isn't a good time to be getting lag, but I'm actually lagging.
Oh, God. That's
hopefully,
no bueno.
Hopefully I don't lag spike, because I literally just hit a major lag spike. This is not okay. This is not okay. I think we should be good, though. Because this is really low level. Alright. Alright, so we just need to get some supplies now. That's weird, my FPS and my MS are fine. Oh well, I guess we'll fight through this war together, boyos. It's gonna be a good run. Alright, so... Yeah, I wanted to start a rogue. Like, when I wanted to do the Ironman challenge, like, I am fully aware of the fact that, like, rogue is probably one of the worst classes you could possibly choose to do this challenge. But I want a rogue, and even if I lose the Iron Man challenge, I'll probably just end up leveling the character anyway, like the rest of the way wherever I die. But yeah, I'm curious to see how far I'll get, because I don't know if you know this, but on I think Wowhead or WoW Armory, there's actually an index of Iron Man challenge people with proof and like where they died. Yeah. And there are very few rogues that made it all the way. In fact, I think I only saw one rogue that made it all the way, and most died fairly soon. So, and plus it's harder, because I don't know if you guys know this, but there was recently a patch. Well, not necessarily recently, just one of the more recent patches. There was an addition to the old zones. I think it stops at Mists of Pandaria and Warlords of Draenor, if I remember correctly. It scales all of the old zones to where you can, like, it's kind of like the Broken Isle zones where you can choose where you want to go. You can go at your leisure. So that's going to be really awesome. How maybe that could be cool. Maybe I'll have like a fan interaction thing where you guys can pick like what zone I go to. Maybe depending on how this series goes. We'll see. I like fan interaction. If that's one thing about the channel, and I don't want to sound like rude or anything, but I feel like a lot of YouTubers kind of don't seem to even notice that their fans are there. And I'm not saying they're not appreciative. It's more like they kind of just... It's almost like they don't really feel that strongly about their fans, but I try to do a lot of things on the channel for fan interaction. Like I do the daily shout-outs, I do the Q&As. I try to be active with fans. I try to reply to every comment. Now, I'm not going to necessarily be able to do that forever, depending on like if I continue to grow, because boy, I still grow. Surprisingly, people are still interested in a nerd in his room talking about music. It's still a thing. So is there any particular subject you would like to bring up, talk about, topic, anything about WoW?
I don't know. Well, you know how organs became a thing?
Yeah, it was night elves that got night elves and humans that got taken, and they were transformed into like the Worgans.
What?
I tried to keep a straight face. It's werewolves. It's a bunch of werewolves. I like
well,
the werewolves.
actually, night elf druids, being like, there was this thing called like the forbidden form, which was pretty much the Worgen, because you would take in the power of one of the Loas, I think, and yeah, you just like, it would corrupt your body and stuff, and eventually, basically what happened, a group of druids like figured out how to kind of control it with the scythe of a loon and stuff.
Yeah. That's exactly what I meant. That's kind of funny. There's 2 other Worgen rogues here. Out of all the classes, there's a bunch of Worgen rogues running around. The day I make a Worgen rogue. I feel like for a Worgen, rogues kind of fit well. Like when that's a good question. That's a really good question. Okay, when you think of like certain races, what class do you like envision going along best with that race? I think obviously like Druid and Night Elf go together. Human or Drawny Paladin?
Yeah, like Dwarf Shaman.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good thing for Horde though, because like Trolls, Taurens, and Orcs and Goblins can be Shamans.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I mean, at first, only Horde could be Shaman.
Yeah, wasn't it like...
that was only vanilla, though.
Yeah, and it wasn't it like only Horde could be Shamans and only Alliance could be Paladins?
Yeah.
And like, for some reason, Blizzard had it to where like the drops in Molten Core and like the Anquirja, they gave you the opposite faction's loot. That must have been so frustrating. Because like vanilla raids were hard. Not that these raids aren't hard, it's just they're admittedly easier. Alright, so we're doing some good progress. I really like the Worgen Zone. It's been a while since I've been through it.
It's pretty neat.
So when you made when Cataclysm came out, did you make a Worgen or Goblin first?
I want to say Worgen, I think.
I made a Worgen Warlock.
But I made Goblin like right after because I wanted to see it.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm not a big fan of Goblins, but I have to say that zone-wise, Kazan and the what's the first place called? The second place that they went. What's it called? The Lost Isles. Kazan and the Lost Isles are like 2 of the not only best designed zones, but the most like interesting zones there are. Like you don't hear them talked about much, but they're really awesome. Like,
yeah, when I was younger, I always loved driving the car around.
Yes. I remember, this is gonna be so cringy, but I remember I used to roleplay and like start goblins, and we'd have cars. Oh no. You know, goblins. I think Goblins and Worgens were both very cool in terms of their starter zones, because they were both like longer zones that were I just think that they were very cool compared to what they were at the time. Like nowadays some people think after, like, of course after you do something enough times you're going to get bored of it, but even though it's been out a while, for the time when Cataclysm came out, Gilneas and Kazan and the Lost Isles were some awesome starting zones. Like, they weren't like anything we'd ever gotten before.
Yeah.
Like, usually, like, let's just say, like, Human or Night Elf, you'd have just quests where it'd be like, you're gonna kill some orcs, or you're gonna kill some wolves, and it's just like this generic paladin or this generic druid tell you to do this. But we had these, like, huge, big, unfolding stories with, like, lore, and there were these long, epic zones with a lot of different environments, and, like, it was just very different for the time.
Yeah.
Are you disappointed at all that they are not adding in a brand new race in Battle for Azeroth? Obviously, they're doing sub. Yeah. It just, I don't know.
Race, but
I mean,
allied races are cool.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's people on one side of the argument that are like, well, we're getting a lot of new races, and that's true, but a lot of their models are the same as already existing races.
They pretty much are. They're just like edited.
Yeah, it's just like it's
modified.
Yeah, it's just already existing models with new voice lines.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they even have like the same spell casting.
Yeah.
And stuff. So
I mean, I don't want to say it's an easy cop out for Blizzard, but at least one thing you can say about it is it's at one time going to give a lot more customization for WoW. At least, I mean.
Yeah.
But I would really like to see another race get added to the mix, and it's just kind of a little discouraging because we literally haven't gotten one since Miss Pandaria. That's going to be, after Battle for Azeroth, it's going to be 3 expansions in, and we haven't gotten a single, like, new race.
Yeah, hopefully they don't, like, depend on allied races too much as, like, for variety.
To be honest,
no. Then, like,
yeah, go ahead.
We'll just, like, since it's the same models and stuff, I think people are just going to get bored of it. I mean, you know, it's, like, then again, like, I don't expect people to get bored of races, but it's just cool to have, like, different ones.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. When it comes to, like, this whole sub-race thing, I'm not going to sell Blizzard short and act like it's not hard to do, but I'm not so sure that because the modeled race, like for scripters and stuff that know what they're doing, it's probably not that difficult to make sub-races a thing, considering all of the models and the stuff is right there already. So what I'm thinking is, like, I feel like they could make a new race and, like, divvy out some sub-races over the expansion, like maybe one every couple months or something. Because if you think about it, that would be a constant flow of new content. That's one thing about WoW is people quit because they get bored of certain content. That'd be a way to constantly be funneling content in.
Yeah, I mean, I see people on my friends list and stuff, like, leveling allied races and things like that. And it's like, if they do that for allied races, all those people that didn't do it will most likely do it for, like, actually new races.
Yeah, that is true.
Modification.
I mean, what race, if you could, like, pick the next race, what would you want it to be?
Tuskar.
Tuskar, yeah. But see, and it's not, I've literally heard people say the argument, there's not enough races to add. There's literally, like, ogres, murlocs, nagas, Tuskar. I mean, there's a lot of things they could choose from. Like, ogres, I'm genuinely surprised that ogres have not been added as an official race for, like, the Horde.
I mean, yeah.
I guess lore-wise.
Like, lore-wise, it'd be kind of weird, because, in lore, the ogres and the orcs have always, like, fought for land and stuff, and
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't picture ogres necessarily being the type to fight. Now, I know nagas are a race that people have wanted in the game for a while.
Yeah.
What side would you think they would be on? That's a good question. Horde?
I think, Horde.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Horde. Maybe Murlocs can be on Alliance, even though, like, those two are enemies to both sides, right? So it's like, I don't know how they would get it to one side. Maybe for Naga's, the queen
Queen
Ashara
Ajara.
could like bargain with Sylvanas or some shit.
Or it could be something along the lines of,
like,
I don't know, maybe like, see, I guess if they wanted to get creative, they could do something along the lines of like, I just had a brain fart. I thought of something they could do for the Nagas. They could do something along the lines of kind of like Death Knights, where maybe Nagas that are in Queen Ajara's like service, like if there was more of an aquatic expansion.
Oh yeah.
See, South Seas arguably could have been a good way to do that, but if they brought Murlocs in for Alliance, Naga for Horde, because it's an aquatic themed type of expansion, and have the Nagas be controlled by Queen Ajara, but they want to break free because they don't agree with what's going on. Have Queen Ajara be like a boss or a big like enemy for a part of the expansion to fill the expansion out, and have Murlocs. I don't know what you do with them, but I feel like that could work for the Naga if there was like Queen Ajara as a big villain for the expansion. They have to do this for South Seas? They have to. There's no better time for them to do something like that.
I mean, Queen Ajara's coming out in BFA.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, like they have to really explore that, because like lore-wise and when it comes to the type of expansion it is, they're not really going to get a better opportunity to be able to do something like that. Like, I mean, so what's your most like anticipated feature for Battle for Azeroth? Like, going into Battle for Azeroth, what do you like? Man, I'm really stoked to try that out.
Just like new zones, variety. They seem to be doing something with PvP, so that's good.
That is true.
You know, like, I don't know. It feels like this expansion, they just pretty much only focused on PvE. I mean, they did some PvP stuff, like they're doing tournaments and stuff, but like,
yeah,
I don't know. I think they could do way more.
I was watching a streamer that I like on WoW, fairly small, but she was playing the World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth beta, and I don't know why it said the entire title, like I'm like trying to sell you on something like the World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth beta. But she was playing the World of Warcraft beta for Battle for Azeroth, and the zone, she was on an undead, and in the first, I think it's the first zone, Zandalar for the Horde, and it looked amazing. I didn't want to see too much of it. I don't even play Horde anyway, so it really doesn't matter, but it looks beautiful, and it looks huge. Like, when, I mean, I don't play Horde, so it doesn't really matter to me, but it's still pretty awesome. Now, I wonder if we're going to get to go to the opposing sides places for anything.
Maybe like a battleground or something, I don't know.
Maybe.
But, I saw a screenshot of Kul Tiras, and it legit looked like a picture.
Oh, man. Like, WoW architecture gets better and better.
Yeah. The scary part, though, is that it's going to take more and more computer power.
Yeah.
Like, Dalaran, this expansion was cancer.
Oh, yeah. Dude, Broken Isles in general, whenever you, like, Hearthstone to Dalaran, or when you zoned in, screw Mythic Xavius, Dalaran loading screen boss.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, if you logged into, like, High Mountain or any other place, it wasn't that bad. Like, it was longer than usual, but it was only, like, a few seconds. Dalaran, like, I legit stood in the loading screen for, like, a solid minute or two every time. It was, like, horrible.
Wow. Alright, so we got to Duskhaven. We're officially a Worgen. So we finished up the human starting part of the Ruins of Gilneas. So I think this is a good place to stop the video, because we officially are Worgen, and we're going to continue the World of Warcraft Ironman challenge next week. So tune in next Saturday for for the next episode of the World of Warcraft Ironman Leveling Challenge. You got anything you want to say before we turn it off?
Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe.
Yeah, what he said. And be sure to comment because I do daily shout-outs. I put you in the description, and I will see you guys next time. But until then, this has been J Morse, Review Guy, and I'm signing off saying farewell.